Kaz. You had such a game last weekend. How are you feeling about it?
Thanks. Yeah, no, good. Feeling good. I think, the performance from everyone was top notch. The attitude was spot on from the beginning. We rewarded our early energy and our high press with goals, and I think that put us in a really good position to dictate the game and the result ultimately.
Does it make it extra sweet that not only you beat the Mariners, who are up the top, but then the results kind of go your way, and then you're like, oh, we're back in the six?
Yeah, it's always good. Look, we came up against, I think, a really good team. The Mariners, especially at home, play with a lot of energy. They have great individual talents capable of changing games. But, like I said, our attitude, our energy and enthusiasm was spot on. We matched them physically, and then that gave us a good platform for our plan and our talent to take over and win the game.
How far ahead do you start thinking, like, is the mentality in the team, like, we can make finals this year? I mean, I was saying how, for me as a fan, it kind of felt a bit similar to last year, where people wrote Sky Blues off at the first half of the season, and then you just came into form at the right time.
Yeah, obviously there's a certain expectation and demand when you play for Sydney. We expect to be at the top every year. Unfortunately, we started slowly this year, but I think we've really found our feet. We're buying into the ideas that Ufi has brought with him, and I think everything's starting to settle quite nicely. It's just about consistency now. And just continuing to, I guess, try to perfect what we do.
Do you think that's contributing a lot to the run of form, kind of like the clicking of the new coaching style? And yeah. I know it's kind of changed exactly how you guys train and everything. I think you have more of a load now than before.
For sure, yeah. The style we strive to play is physically very demanding. It took us some time to adapt, get fitter. I think now we've reached a good level of conditioning. We're all quite capable of, running out a game. And if we're not, we've got very capable substitutes who can come on and do a job. So, I think we're building quite nicely. There's a good feeling around the club, a lot of energy and enthusiasm from the team. And like I said, it's about consistency.
When Ufi says, sorry, we're friends, promise. When Ufi says that, they also want to focus on entertainment, I mean, like, what does that mean? What is he telling you guys to, like, practice backflips when he's going, what does it actually mean?
I think, the philosophy is entertaining in itself. It's a very, high energy approach with our press, which sees us be the protagonist in most games. If we do it well, that will give us the best chance to show what we can do with the ball, attack and go forward and try to score goals.
Up against Adelaide this weekend, they did give you a touch-up last time you guys met. What are the reflections out of that meeting?
Yeah, I believe it was 4-3 last time we met. Very entertaining game, as we've touched on. They're a good team. They've got some very dangerous players. Obviously, enough has been said about Irukunda and what he can do. Look, we did manage to score 3 goals that game. That's a good sign. I think, defensively we could have been better on the day, but we are confident that if we execute our game plan to our ability, then we should walk away with a good result.
You talked about consistency, but Adelaide has been sort of a seesaw. Is that something that you guys are looking to take advantage of?
Not necessarily. I think our focus is always on what we do and how we can improve each week. If we, like I said, execute our game plan to an ideal level, then it'll give us a good chance of winning the game. But the important thing is that we start with high energy. That will set the tone for the game and hopefully allow us to play our football.
Did want to touch on Pat Wood. I do want to hear about your perspective as a teammate. We did hear from Ufi, but have you spoken with him, and what's his character been like lately?
Yeah, we've spoken briefly. I spoke to him a bit on game day, on the field even. But it's disappointing to see that sort of reaction. I felt that from the game there were many positives that people could have, taken and spoken about. The fact that we had 2 young centre-backs who did an amazing job. And the overall team performance, they're the things that I think, were worthwhile talking about. The miss, it happens in football. He's not the first person to miss a chance. I've seen it, even at the very top level. And it's a shame because he's a kid that I guess gives everything every game, and the fact that he created that chance himself with his energy and his intent. It's unfortunate he didn't reward himself, but obviously the reaction is pretty disappointing.
Can you talk about the pressure on the field when you are in that position, and how it might look easy when you're on the side, but how difficult it is to cap that?
Yeah, things on the field happen at 100 miles an hour. He made a very aggressive run to press the keeper, and he is carrying an injury also. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to play when you're injured, let alone have a stress fracture the way Woody does have. It's a lot of, it takes its toll on his body, and look, like I said, it's unfortunate the way things turned out. He deserved the goal, but the most disappointing thing is the reaction.
How much onus do you put on containing players like Nestor Irankunda? I mean, Carl Viet said last week that Nestor has fallen out of form since he announced he was going to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, players of that sort of talent, I don't think fall out of form. I think they're capable of, changing a game in an instance with a single action or, a bit of improvisation. But our game plan is collective, it's a collective approach to an aggressive press. And if we do that well, then that will hopefully nullify their threats that they have individually.
If you look, Cass, at the form table over the last 8 games, Sydney have seen 1 defeat in 8 games, top of the form league. Is it starting to feel good as a player now at this time of the year? Yeah,
definitely. It feels like we're building some momentum. Results are coming, which is great. That gives you even more enthusiasm to come out and work hard and keep trying to execute the game plan as best as possible. And obviously, it gives everyone a bit of confidence. We're starting to get good results, climb up the ladder, and it's an important time of year, so if we can keep these results and performances, more importantly, going, then we should see ourselves in a good position at the end of the year.
And everyone's enjoying playing under the new style?
Yeah, for sure. It's a style that, like I said, we're the protagonists. We aim to be the protagonists and dictate every game. It's obviously very demanding, but we train every day to be able to execute the game plan, and I think the boys are really buying into it.
Do you physically feel like the group is fitter since Wolfie came?
Oh, definitely. Everyone's running much more. Even our senior players, our GPS numbers are through the roof, and everyone looks in good shape.